Hello, I'm Gladys Mutele, and this is the wrap of your Newsweek. Facebook rapist Thabo Bester will be in court next week, along with some of his accomplices, including Dr Nandipha. Her lawyers put her bail application on hold yesterday and may revisit it at a later stage. Makutumana, her father, and several G4S employees are accused of assisting Facebook rapist Thabo Bester escape from prison last year. As more arrests are expected in the ongoing escape case, who financed it and how much was paid for it was also reported on this week. It's believed 120,000 rand is what it allegedly cost 3 former G4S employees to turn a blind eye to assist Bester to escape from prison last year.
Proceedings were meant to have unfolded in the sense that all 6 accused were meant to have applied for bail, but we didn't see that happen. Quite early on in proceedings, Dr Nandipha, through her attorney, Advocate Frans Glamini, made it clear that his client would not be applying for bail, and he asked and requested the court that her bail application be postponed. Now, there hasn't been a date set for her bail application. It's basically been rolled over to any time within or during proceedings, and that can mean that Dr Nandipha could essentially apply for bail during pre-trial. Her attorney, her advocate, hasn't set down a date for her bail application. And this was because he had actually said that crucial evidence had surfaced, and what that evidence is, we don't know right now. So Dr Nandipha had left proceedings early in the morning following the magistrate granting her that decision to postpone her bail to another day.
Contradictions in what happened on the night Senzo Meyiwa died took center stage at the soccer star's murder trial this week. The state's first witness, Twala, continued his testimony and cross-examination. Now, there were also clashes between himself and one of the lawyers representing one of the accused about the details.
It's been an eventful week here in the Pretoria High Court when Twala returned to the witness stand. Now on Tuesday, we saw a bit of a disturbance in the proceedings as a court interpreter couldn't make it to court, resulting in the matter being postponed to Wednesday. Now Twala has been under cross-examination by at least 4 defense lawyers, all representing the accused, and they have asked him intricate questions about what exactly happened on the night that Meyiwa was killed. We saw Twala from time to time standing up for himself, saying that he's been through a lot from the time that Meyiwa was killed. We've heard defense lawyers accusing him of fabricating exactly what happened on that night. All of the defense lawyers have put it to Twala that there were no intruders and there was no firearm, at least from the intruder's side, used to kill Meyiwa. They have suggested that the person that killed the soccer star was somewhere in the house, a notion that Twala has vehemently denied. He's completed his examination or his testimony on the witness stand, and we wait to see who will take the stand on Monday. Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
As we head into another load-shedding filled weekend, allegations of corruption at Eskom continue to be discussed, but there's still no clarity on which cabinet or senior government ministers were involved. On Tuesday, the Hawks told Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts that former Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter refused to speak to the police about claims he made in the television interview in February.
Mr. de Ruyter declined to meet the officer, but referred him to his lawyer, who promised to talk to the officer. But unfortunately, the promise to come back to the provincial head did not materialize.
On Wednesday, the former Eskom board chairperson blamed law enforcement agencies for failing to investigate the claims. Malekapuru Makgoba also confirmed that he was aware of the privately funded investigation into corruption at the state-owned entity.
I remember 1 or 2 meetings that Mr. de Ruyter had with the former Director of Prosecution leader, Advocate Prunier, where we were concerned that we were reporting matters and we were not getting any mileage or any returns. The Hawks were not doing what they are supposed to be doing. Not that they were not investigating, but they were just taking too long, almost lackadaisical about what needed to be done when Rome was burning.
And then the president was asked about what action he is taking to clamp down on corruption at Eskom and act against those responsible for it.
I've not been presented with any evidence of members of the cabinet or other senior government officials alleged to be involved in corruption at Eskom. Anyone who does have such evidence should provide that information to the relevant authorities so that a thorough investigation of all credible allegations can be conducted.
The curious case of Ekurhuleni's missing waste collection trucks dominated news this week. EFF leader Julius Malema caused a stir with a tweet saying 71 trucks from the municipality's depot were missing and likely stolen. The tweet caused friction with the newly formed ANC-EFF coalition government in the metro, with the latter accusing the Red Berets of acting outside the collective. Our reporter, Thabiso Koba, visited some of the depots to see for himself whether the trucks were there or not.
The EFF has recently come into government in the city of Ekurhuleni, holding 5 seats in the mayoral committee, including the position for MMC for Environment and Waste Management Services. But before that, the EFF, along with the other many parties in council, voted in favor of a motion for the city to dispose of many of its compactors. The reason cited in the council report of why the city was disposing of its compactors is that many of them were old, had high mileage and frequent breakdowns. Eyewitness News understand that these trucks will be auctioned off on the first week of June. In the meantime, the city says its waste collection efforts continue as normal.
A Fourways Farmers Market is reviewing its entertainment after these dance moves went viral.
I think that TikTok video was a little unfair. It was done in one corner of the property where there are the property is 3.8 hectares in size, which equates to about 5 rugby fields. And this took place in one small corner. Obviously, from our side, we are looking at it in terms of we are going to make areas only over 18 areas. So we have a family lawn, we have a kids play area. What we're going to do is we're going to designate other areas that are adults only.
And the spelling error is actually on our old banknotes and not the new ones. There was a lot of debate around whether the new 100 Rand banknote being circulated has a spelling error. But the South African Reserve Bank said Xitsonga speakers will come across both spellings of the institution. The Pan-South African Language Board has explained that the extra N was incorrect on the old notes and is only used when referring to a person and not an institution. Well, on that note, enjoy your weekend and see you soon. For now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.